Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat, #1 podcast in the world. You have D and Anand in here today. We are talking news. We have an incredible story to kick you off. The most expensive dinner of the year goes to Ari, Jordan, and Javier. We recap their big dinner at the Ivy. Anand has a new razor for us.
Big razor guy.
And then we get into news. We're talking interest rates, inflation, Macy, Salesforce, VC, a lot to talk about. And then, of course, winners, losers, content. And then for all the Chatty Cathy Club members, we reveal at the end of the episode how to claim your hats, your member hats. All right, let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, everyone, we are back with another episode of Group Chat. And to kick it off, the big dinner has happened.
Yeah, why don't you explain who the characters, actors in this dinner are?
The actors in this dinner are Ari.
Okay, he's the producer of this podcast.
He's the producer of the podcast. And Javier and Jordan.
So Javier and Jordan work for you.
Yes.
They used to work for the podcast.
They used to help out with the podcast. And Ari used AI and kicked them out.
Yeah.
Like a power struggle, internal power struggle. And these guys were boxed out. And I guess for reparations, Ari offered to take them to dinner. And I guess who suggested the Ivy?
It's definitely Ari because that's where I had to pay for his lunch.
Yeah, and your lunch was how much?
$300.
$300. Okay, so the idea was basically to pay back
with tip, so $380, whatever.
Yeah, big tipper.
Yeah,
big
didn't
tip.
want to. Ari, I should have tipped less, but I was like, Ari shows up there so much. He eats at the Ivy every week.
Yeah,
that I was like, I don't want to
embarrass him. Must be nice tipping like that. $80 on $300. You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Then they proceed to book their dinner. They went last night. And so we'll get to the bill because that's the most fascinating part about the meal. But
there's so many questions about this dinner.
Okay.
So
what time was it at?
6 p.m. reservation.
Early. Odd time.
Very odd.
Do you have like a deal there?
No, it was
happy hour.
I just knew that Javier lives pretty far away, so I was like, I don't want to make him drive home, come back. We'll do soon after work because it's close by.
It's 15 minutes away.
I would have waited.
You would have waited.
It was bright out. We were having a late lunch essentially, but that's okay.
Okay, so you have your 6 p.m. dinner. How does it go?
So first we go to Jordan's house. We pregame a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start there. 2 hours before the dinner, Ari puts us in a group chat. Are we pre-gaming for this? For a Wednesday dinner at 6 p.m., he wanted to pregame. Yeah. So red flag, right to start. But we're like, okay, sure, whatever.
So what was pregame? That's why you guys were in the office when I opened the door at 5 o'clock?
We need to pregame with Ari.
Yeah, I think I left yesterday at 4:45, and they were game planning pregame.
Yeah. So where was pregame?
Just
my
Jordan's
house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what does a pregame look like? To the Ivy?
This guy brought over the worst tequila
I brought over
had
a
in my
really
life.
bad bottle of tequila.
Why wouldn't you just grab one of these?
We have unlimited Lo Siento.
Yeah, we should have. Hindsight, we should have.
Okay. So
they did?
What is going on in this pregame?
We're literally sitting, just listening to music, drinking, giving Ari shit about getting us fired.
Okay. And so what song's playing in the background?
Yeah.
We're playing, what was it, Don Toliver's new album.
Okay.
I mean, it was honestly short. We were only there for what, like 15?
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes.
So one cocktail each?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So then did you walk or drive or Uber to Ivy?
We walked.
We walked.
Walked to the
Worst
Ivy.
decision ever.
Horrible
it was
decision.
cold as
Yeah,
shit and windy.
Okay. And then you get to the Ivy. Are you sitting inside or outside?
Outside.
Oh,
but
that
it's like
sucks.
covered and they had heaters. So
Mind you, though, my spot is inside. I offered to take them to my table in the back. They didn't want it.
because there were some
They wanted
ladies
outside.
outside. Well, it was empty, which was weird. Well, maybe because it was 6, but it was empty. There's 3 girls sitting outside, and Ari's like, "Let's go inside." I'm like, "No, let's talk to them."
Yeah.
But they're like 60.
The ladies that she wanted to sit outside next to were 60 years old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's between that or nothing.
Okay, so what'd you guys order first?
So the waiter comes before drinks, before apps, before anything. Ari goes, "I want 3 pounds of cookies."
To go.
Just give some background to the Ivy if people didn't listen to the previous episode.
Yeah, so the Ivy is a restaurant on Robertson Boulevard, just south of Beverly Boulevard. And it's like, the heart of West Hollywood. And this street, Robertson, 5 to 15 years ago, was like the hottest street in LA. Retail, paparazzi, celebs literally used to go on this street to get photographed because of all the retailers like Kitson and Lisa Klein, and the newsroom used to be there. And the Ivy particularly is like extremely well-known spot to get photographed. You literally eat there to go get photographed. So obviously it's become like a tourist attraction, and it's become a crowded place. And Ari and Anand had gone a few weeks ago. Apparently this is the restaurant that Ari frequents, which is
It's a very expensive restaurant.
obscenely expensive.
Yeah.
Obscenely expensive.
Huge menu. Everything's over $40-$50.
Yeah. So to order 3 pounds of cookies out of the gate, it's an aggressive move. Because what is that, $50 a pound?
$22 a pound plus tax and tip.
So you're at like $100.
Yeah, I'm at $100.
$100 for before you guys have ordered a drink. What are the drinks you order?
We got Ari's cucumber martinis because he was like, "This is my drink. Like, this is my spot. You have to try it."
Okay.
Wasn't bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we had 2 of those to start.
And those are what, 30 a pop?
Yeah,
I didn't even look.
20 something, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously you're not looking.
I was keep them coming.
And then what'd you order for food?
They both did carne asada, and I did the 12-ounce steak. It was delicious.
Wow.
That's the Wagyu.
I don't know. I don't think so.
And I heard there was shrimp cocktails ordered.
There was a shrimp cocktail
And
for the
fries.
table, a couple of fries for the table. I took them out. I let them eat.
And I've heard the number of drinks that were ordered by each person.
How many?
Take a guess.
3 each.
6 each.
6 each? You guys drank 6 of
Yeah.
those sugary ass drinks?
Okay, so what happened was Ari was trying to get the bill right away. Like, get the bill, get the bill. Me and Jordan are looking at the waiter, like, hold the bill, 3 more. And the guy's like, fuck it. So he just kept coming. And then like Ari's like, bill. And he sided with us because he was just looking at dollar signs.
Yeah.
We were just like, 3 more. And then like finally Ari was like, no, seriously. Like,
So you guys had 18 drinks.
Yeah.
yeah.
So 18 drinks, tax tip, 30.
And were they all martinis?
Yeah, we switched to espresso martinis.
We switched to espresso martinis.
6
Jordan
martinis
had
is
to do a
insane.
black label Coke first.
So you're with tax and tip on drinks, you're at $5.40. Plus the 100 on cookies, that's $6.40. And then entrees are $40 a pop. That's $120. Plus tax and tip. Okay, so the final bill being $8.40 now it makes sense.
That seems light for 18 cocktails. Doesn't it?
$8.40 includes tip.
Includes a 20% tip.
How did I get
Not-
screwed with $300 and all I got was a salad?
Well, you had drinks though.
Yeah, we didn't have 18 drinks.
And we got a free
And we got
whatever.
a free round. So technically we only paid for 2 drinks. What the fuck did you order?
I got the salmon plate. Cheaper
That
than the
seems like
steak.
a very cheap bill for a very high-priced restaurant. If you had 18 drinks at Delilah plus what they ordered, what's it costing?
I think the same. I think then the math makes sense.
The waiter was also loving Ari. Like anything Ari said, the waiter was like, great choice. Like, you know what you're doing.
I
You
mean,
know-
he knew I was paying.
It was weird.
That's
Yep.
what they do at these restaurants.
They just schmoozed him.
I
a
remember
great
we were at the
salesman.
Yeah,
Super
we were in
Bowl and
Arizona.
this guy kept saying everything our friend was pointing in the menu, or I or him, great choice, great choice. So I started calling him great choice. And he walks. I go, what is not a good choice here? Give me something that's not good. And then I finally
I think you broke him.
yeah, I kept pointing at every single thing, and he finally said,
I think he realized we knew we were on to him.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Not everything's a great choice.
So you guys had a good time. So how long were you there?
2 hours.
2 hours.
18 cocktails.
That's the velocity is very high of cocktails. So you're having a cocktail every 20 minutes.
We're chugging.
Yeah,
chugging.
Yeah, Ari
You know
was
what's funny?
chugging.
John, I guess, had drinks with you the other night at Nice Guy, and I see him. John is another guy that works with us, and he's like, "Yeah, Jordan came and met me at Nice Guy for a couple of drinks. I think he sucked down 3 Jack and Cokes in like 4 minutes."
That's the one thing Mizzou taught me was how to drink.
Efficiency.
All right. Well, the dinner happened. $840. And are you guys pretty happy with your $840 dinner?
We told him it has to be monthly.
No.
I'm not happy.
No.
I mean, you could get a fucking Range Rover every month.
He also tried to lie to us at the beginning. He said, I only brought 600 cash, so we can't go over. Javier and I called his bluff. We were like, we don't give a fuck. You're the one that comes here all the time. If we have to walk out on the bill that's on you, you can't come back anymore.
The second the cookies got ordered and he just went rogue on like $100 cookie to start, I'm like, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Was that one of the more expensive meals you guys have eaten for 3 people?
Delilah Vegas is probably up there.
Yeah, but I paid for that.
Yeah. I'm good at running up the tab when I don't have to pay.
Fascinating. Great. It's odd choice of restaurant still.
Yep.
Given your guys' ages, that's not. If I was going to spend $840 at dinner, I'd probably go to Delilah because at least it's people
Sick.
within the decades of you've been born in
Decades.
in the region.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why Ari loves it so much.
But your rationale is just you're an old soul.
Yeah. I like the idea. I dine there alone a lot. And just the idea of going,
With
sitting there
AirPods.
alone, sometimes with AirPods,
For a
sometimes
book.
without.
He listens to a book.
Sometimes I'll listen to a book. Sometimes I'll just people watch.
I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you just need to not be listening to a book.
Why not? I was learning, enjoying myself.
Oh my God.
It was
All
a
right.
phenomenal time.
Well, fascinating. I'm just blown away at the cost of the dinner and that you had 18 drinks.
So you're done at 8. What did you guys do the rest of the night?
I mean,
18
they're
drinks
drunk.
in.
So I go home. I had college apps to do. That's a whole other thing. Did college apps, wasted for an hour. Yeah, it was great.
Oh my God. That's amazing. All right. Great. Let's get into some news.
Let's get into a new razor.
Oh, you got a razor.
Got a razor.
Okay. Drop the razor.
Hitchens razor.
Hitchens. Okay.
HITCHEN''S.
Who is Hitchin?
Who cares? Do you know who Occam is?
I looked it up. William Occam.
Okay. Basically, Hitchens razor is no evidence, no argument. So it ties into the bat. There's no evidence the bat created COVID.
So it's Hitchin.
Hitchens razor.
Yeah.
So we had Occam's and Hitchin.
They're both.
Both apply.
No evidence,
No argument.
no argument.
You like it?
Johnny Cochran. I like it. It's a good one. Occam is just the name is better.
I have a couple.
Okay, we'll
Done.
do one a day.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you got?
Do you know what the Overton window is?
No.
Should I save that for the next
Yeah,
episode?
we'll save that for next episode. We can do one of your stupid sayings every day.
Just remind us, Ari. We have to talk about the Overton window.
Will do.
Okay. All right, let's get into some news. All right, the big news is always interest rates. That's what everyone's talking about. Really interesting tweet that got shared about interest rates by category. Pretty crazy, these numbers. Like one of the so they kind of rank it by interest rates by category. So credit cards are 24.1%.
That's wild.
Wild.
24%. So basically, every $100 you're paying $25 on top of it,
Well, if it annualized.
annualized.
That's
but no,
it.
annually. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
if you pay, if you pay your credit cards slowly. The other is used car loans, 13.7% right now, just crazy. New cars, 8.7%. Mortgages are 7.1%. But here's the interesting thing. Total debt by category. Credit card is 986 billion. That means in the next 12 months, is this math right? $25 billion will get collected.
23.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but like if it's outstanding, it's not getting paid down.
No. And auto loans are 1.6 trillion. Mortgages are 11.9 trillion.
Well, the mortgages, they're already out and they're fixed, right? Like not many people have like adjustable rates.
I think people do have adjustable rates, but yeah, new mortgages are obviously over 7%.
Yeah. So I'm not really worried about that figure, in my opinion.
Right. The credit card.
Auto loans are fixed.
Credit card's the one that can crush the consumer.
Yeah, the 1.6 trillion auto loans are from a lower interest rate environment, right?
Yep.
Do those?
No, it's for new interest rate.
Yeah.
New interest rates for auto loans. Credit card's the problem.
The credit card's a problem.
Because you didn't get to float that 0% interest from, you paid your credit card down in 2020, 2021, 2022, if you are able to even use a credit card.
Yeah. Well, the numbers that these interest rates, I wonder if they're based on like what credit, because like there's plenty of people getting lower mortgage rates, right? Like not everyone's paying 7.1%. There's people
only
getting
the high end, I think, are getting sub 6%.
Yeah. But so maybe this interest rate is for someone with moderate credit or something like that.
Yeah, we should talk to the Kathy in Arizona that showed up to the meetup in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
He's probably the great barometer of like what people are actually paying mortgage rates, because he's selling homes in Arizona.
Yeah.
Which is like America.
But the houses he's selling were like over 3 million. So I don't think that's a good indication. I think it's like, what's the guy buying the $800,000 house? What's his mortgage?
7%.
Yeah,
100%.
and then the used cars, I'm sure it ranges by your credit. Not everyone's paying 13%. I refuse to believe that. So, there's some, like this data is a little off.
Yeah, but I think it's the national average. So
it
probably bakes in people that are paying less and paying more. Either way, it's alarming that no one's reining in spending given these dynamics.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
No one's reining in. Hey, here, talk about inflation. So there's a food and wine festival sometime in March. It could be mid-March or end of March.
In which city?
And Ojai Valley Inn, where I got married.
Yeah.
So the festival's there. Take a guess how much tickets are. 3 days, you get food, wine.
$1,500.
$5,000.
Oh my God.
Doesn't include room and board. A room, sorry. That's without even staying at the Ojai Valley Inn.
Oh.
And it's going to sell out. And that's the poor package. There's a $10,000 package.
What do you get for 10?
I don't know, some VIP events. And it just has like all these famous chefs that show up and nice wine.
So is it breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Lunch and dinner for sure. And then like some events. I don't know.
So that's 6 meals?
Yeah, call it 6 meals.
I mean, that's in line with Ari's $800 a meal. But I guess it's per person.
Yeah.
5,000 is for a couple, or?
I don't know how it breaks down, but I was blown away that that's like a very like people digest that. Like, yeah, I'll pay $5,000 to drive to Ojai and eat some fancy food.
Dang. That's absolutely
And
insane.
it'll sell out.
Yeah. Wild. Okay. I mean, if that's what you are into, I guess you'll pay for it, right? I mean, crazy.
Because you have to pay for somewhere to stay if you're going to do the 3 days.
Yeah.
So you're out 10 grand, even if you're the lowest ticket price.
Yeah. And Ojai Valley Inn is minimum $800 a night.
And it's probably sold out.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, one of the things that news that did come out, Macy's is absolutely on fire. Like they've really figured their business out. Stock is up 10% today based on their earnings. And look, they saw declines like everybody else. I think the biggest difference is they've actually figured out how to operate in this new version of Macy's. Their inventory levels are down from 2019. They're like one of the only companies. I think it's down 19% from 2019. They remain profitable, but they're expecting, sales to fall this year. Obviously, rising prices, shifts in labor, all that type of stuff. But they found a way to survive. Like Macy's is not going anywhere. I think there was this notion that we thought we would never see Macy's again. They would just die a slow death. I don't think that's happening. Like they're going to be here forever.
Yeah, the funniest thing is how we talk about everyone's still spending. There's a quote, helped by an uptick in income, American spending showed unexpected strength in January.
Yeah. That's insane.
None of this, it's just wild. Everything should point to the consumer slowing, but nothing is slowing.
Yeah. Their comp sales in the fourth quarter were down 3.3%. Their profits fell 30%. But look at this. Macy's still made $500 million of profit in the fourth quarter of last year. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, brick and mortar is on fire, and I don't know how to explain it.
People want to go
Who's
in and
going to
shop.
Macy's? Do you know
Everybody.
anyone that's shopping at Macy's?
Do I know anyone shopping at Macy's? No.
Yeah. Like, who's walking to the Beverly Center Macy's?
That's not a good example of a Macy's.
But in general, I'm just saying.
2022 revenue, just to give you a sense of the size of Macy's, was $25 billion.
Yeah, it's big business.
I just can't believe, if you look at how these retail stocks are valued, how are some of these technology companies that are still not profitable valued anywhere near where they're at?
It's just growth.
But they're not growing. A lot of these companies are not growing.
All the
Etsy's not growing. It's worth 3x Macy's.
Is it?
Well, look. Well, how much is Macy's?
Like a $6 billion company?
Macy's is a $6 billion company. And what's Etsy? Which is not profitable. It's $15 billion. That's a joke.
And Macy's Herald Square is the real estate's worth $5 billion. They're basically valuing the retail at zero.
Yeah, which is not fair.
What would you say it's $5 billion?
What?
The Herald Square Macy's?
No, that's a lot. $5 billion?
Couple billion? It's in the B's.
It's over 1B for sure. I don't know if it's worth.
That was always the private equity math.
Yeah.
Because it was trading much lower than $6 billion. I think it was trading at a couple billion. So maybe I'm off on some B's.
Yeah,
but
it's a big B.
But the real estate was basically worth more than the retail business at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, that I believe that. But the retail business makes money.
Mm-hmm.
Billions of dollars of profits they're going to do. I don't know. It's pretty impressive what they've done. Still feel like these companies are severely undervalued. Because they have a digital component to their business. All these e-commerce companies are opening up brick and mortar, but they're not valued. You got to be valued like a Macy's. Because at what point does Etsy have to make money? Their sales literally went down. Their sales literally went down.
I would say pretty much every tech company that's gone public in the last 8 years still doesn't make money. 90%.
Yeah.
There's 10% that do.
Yeah.
Airbnb makes money.
Yeah. And that's an anomaly. And they haven't proven that they could do it over a long period of time yet.
Yeah. So, what's the reckoning though? That's what I don't know. Can Uber just lose billions for another decade and still be worth 60? But they're worth $60 billion.
And they've raised.
They've raised over 25 billion. So they've burned that.
Yeah. They're still burning.
They're still burning.
Not a good business.
Yeah, but what's the reckoning? How is it worth 60 billion? After all these corrections.
It's still worth 60 billion.
I don't know. Maybe it's never going to get, there's no reckoning.
It's just people are just accepted.
I mean, what's the explanation?
Yeah.
What point does Uber have to turn a profit?
I mean, Amazon was given a long leash,
Yes.
right?
But they had AWS that saved them.
Yeah, but what's Uber's AWS? Uber Eats, they know McDonald's can save them.
67 billion. I lopped off 7 billion.
Yeah. Market cap.
Market cap. So what I just mistaken is worth more than Macy's.
Yeah. Which makes money. Either Macy's is severely undervalued or Uber is severely overvalued.
I'm just curious.
Or
because
Etsy or
with companies that don't make money, I don't think Uber has a shot of making money in the next 3 years. Do you?
I don't know. You just have to cut very deep. But then you stop growing. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough sell.
It's a tough,
I'd be bummed out if I'm the CEO of Macy's. I'm sitting here turning around this basically dead retailer into 25 billion of revenue.
yeah.
Make it profitable. Right size the thing, and these guys, aren't getting rewarded.
Yeah, it's wild. $67 billion company.
Salesforce, let's move on, came out with earnings yesterday. 35 billion of revenue, which is just bananas.
Mm-hmm.
The stock jumped because Mark Benioff, the founder and CEO, has finally said, we've never been optimizing for efficiency, but now is the time. And Wall Street loved that. And now the stock is ripping. It's pretty fascinating what narrative the market wants to see. And if you say it, it's a wrap.
And it doesn't even matter if you've proved it.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't proved it.
Yeah.
And there's a quote from Benioff. Every CEO in Silicon Valley has looked at what Elon Musk has done and asked themselves, do they need to unleash their own Elon within them? Basically just fire everyone.
Yeah. So there's a lot more cutting to go.
Because their earnings weren't great.
No.
But the stock went up 16%.
Just because of that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so that's my point. Can you take, if all of these technology companies, they could be profitable if they wanted to, right? Can they? Why not? Cut.
Yeah, it's funny. There's the information linked. In the past, the company didn't closely track how many deals each salesperson made, former employees say. More recently, managers have been diving into spreadsheets, analyzing metrics, and scrutinizing the number of deals salespeople closed during the quarter. So they weren't doing anything. The excess in tech is wild.
Yeah. Excess inventory.
Excess inventory. And these are the people that claim they use data.
Yeah.
They don't even have data in their own house.
The thing about data, I'm a big data guy.
Yeah, you are.
Nobody uses it. Everyone collects it. That's why I've never been worried about privacy data. What are you going to do with it? You're going to do shit. Most people have been collecting data for decades and they're not using it. The only person that really has used it effectively in recent memory is Cambridge Analytica.
TikTok.
Facebook,
TikTok. They're good at data.
Yeah.
Instagram's good.
But the rest of these companies have not I
just searched Salesforce on Twitter. They pay Matthew McConaughey $10 million a year.
To do what?
No idea.
Good for him.
Morning Brew said Salesforce cuts 8,000 jobs. Also, Salesforce pays Matthew McConaughey $10 million a year. Morning Brew's pretty reliable.
All right.
He just has to say that once a year.
I mean, if he does, he probably speaks at the company conference. Do they have commercials with him?
I haven't seen him, but I hope so. If you get $10 million a year,
That's
Gotta
a
do
great
something.
gig. That's a great gig.
He must be making a fortune. This is something we don't even know he does, separate from all his movies.
Yeah,
Shit,
he might be making like $50 million a year.
maybe more.
I think once you reach that like A-list celebrity level, they're just people will just pay you.
Yeah, it's good to
Like
be.
I think a lot of people like want to be around Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I mean, Fox paid Brady, the rumors $350 million to show up to like investor meetings. It's a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
He has no assignment yet.
Like, does he have to be on TV?
He's already said he's not on TV next season. So I don't know when he gets paid this $350 million, but he is already showing up at Fox like investor meetings when they like talk about the NFL.
That's insane.
So you're right. The 10 million, Matthew McConaughey shows up to, Fidelity's
It works.
earnings call.
Yeah.
All right. Salesforce, let's go.
He does the, the thing from what movie is that?
Which
the
one?
Jordan Belfort.
Wall Street?
No, is that what it's called? The Jordan Leo movie. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, not Wall Street. Sorry.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, sorry.
If he plays that character, comes out for Salesforce, why not? Fidelity? Yeah, 50 million of shares. What do we care?
think like we see Magic Johnson always posting all his speaking gigs. He does like 3 a week
Yeah.
at like some corporate. It must work.
What works?
Meaning the people that are doing business with Salesforce want to see Matthew McConaughey, want to see Magic Johnson, want to see Tom Brady
Yeah. It
at the
converts.
respective companies.
It converts.
It must convert.
Yeah.
Why else would they be doing that?
Yeah.
Like I would assume Kevin Hart's at corporate conferences collecting a bag.
I think he's a little younger. Like the 3 people you mentioned, their fans are old.
Right.
They trend older, So like Magic Johnson's fans are 50 years old now. Tom Brady's fans are generally older.
Sure. So you just have to like.
Kevin Hart just needs like 5-10 more years. Then his fans are.
Okay, so I mean, you can extrapolate another celebrity that I think they're all collecting checks.
Yeah, I think the key is one. You, from what we've heard, all 3 of those people are very likable, easy to communicate with on a social level. So that's also a knack from a celebrity standpoint. Not every celebrity can just walk into a room and be charming.
Yeah, that's true.
But Magic, we've heard.
Magic's got that smile.
Yeah, Magic's electric. Matthew McConaughey, I'm sure, is like that, and obviously Tom Brady. We've heard, from a lot of people that he is. It's like a smart, engaging guy. Amazing. Whatever. Good for them. And I think that statement tells you from Mark Benioff, a lot more cuts coming.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I think all tech has to cut.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious because everyone's cutting because interest rates are high and there's no free money anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can get the return investing in so many different, way
Vehicle.
less risky stuff.
I mean, Robinhood's checking
4.5%?
Yeah, 4.15.
Yeah, I got the notice.
Yeah, I just got that notice. That's amazing that they're offering it.
Yeah, I remember in 2005 it was like that.
Yeah. You just kept the money in the bank. You got money.
Just kept it in Citigroup and you made 4%.
Insane. Fascinating. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll have to see what happens with these big tech because I don't know if you saw in information, they were saying that Sundar should step down at Google.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
Just saying that like Google.
Because he lost the AI battle with with
basically
Microsoft?
like it's about to be a war and he's not positioned right to take that battle.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Because he's been largely praised for the last decade.
Yeah. Things change. AI changed everything.
I mean, it's just the stock market going down 20-30% changes everyone's opinions.
Yeah. Well, now everyone's looking under the hood and be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, tech's an interesting place to be.
Yeah. Especially if you're not profitable. Then I think it's tougher.
So if these companies are still being able to be worth, $67 billion with no sign of profitability, because everyone's 2 years away from profit. That's like the gimmick.
Yeah.
And all these earnings announcements and venture raising, everyone says we're 18 to 24 months, we're going to be super profitable. No one is.
Yep.
So if interest rates go down in 18 months, does everyone not care again? What's the pathway for all these companies that make zero money, they're still worth tens of billions of dollars, to still be worth tens of billions of dollars?
Because it's in everyone's best interest just to keep the party going, right? That's just it.
It must be.
Yeah, of course. That's it.
So we should just throw out finance and economics from college.
Yes.
100%.
I mean,
You
what's
can't do
happening?
a discounted cash flow analysis. It's the first thing you learn in Finance 101.
Which is what?
You map out the future cash flows of a business, you put a rate on it, and you say this is what the value is. When there's no cash flows for any of these businesses, how can you do a discounted cash flow?
I don't know. What's even more interesting is that you could do that for Macy's. You cannot do that for the other companies, and Macy's is punished.
Right. And my assumption is we're gonna throw out all these financial models that you get taught in investment banking and college, and it doesn't matter. It's just we're in a period where people pretend it matters.
Yeah.
But in 18 months, it's not going to matter anymore.
Yeah. Well, this next topic. So Rick Zullo, who's one of the partners and co-founder of Equal Ventures, who's an investor in my business, incredibly smart person. And he has a very big thesis around, climate, retail in particular. He tweeted out something that's fascinating. VCs have poured $35 billion into the enablement of D2C, not counting the brands. This is enablement for D2C. D2C revenue represents 1% of retail. Meanwhile, the other 99% remains criminally underinvested. That's unbelievable. That stat.
No, it's wild.
Wild. $35 billion?
And 1% of commerce.
Yeah. Wild. The $35 billion, I'm not mad at. It's more of like, why aren't you investing in where the revenue is actually coming in?
Well, it's also like the $35 billion yielded nothing.
Yeah.
Because you're still 1%.
Yeah.
So there was no leverage on that $35 billion.
Yeah.
VCs might not be that smart.
I sat across at the table yesterday from a VC, and I was telling her what Ghost does, and she was like, "Oh, who shops at those stores?" I'm like, "Excuse me?"
Which stores specifically?
Like a TJ Maxx, a Burlington, a Ross, a dollar store. And I'm like, everybody, the entire fucking country shops at those stores. And she was like, really? Like, I've never really gone in one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, do you know how big TJ Maxx is? $60 billion in revenue.
Yeah. Dollar store does 25 billion, I think.
Yeah. Like, you're talking about, you don't know.
And then Ross, Walmart's 450 billion.
450 billion. Discounter. It is mind-numbing when you talk to people who are so disconnected from what reality is. This is why people hate coastal elites.
Yeah, it's a good reason to.
Yeah, like when you're not even, from an investing standpoint.
You shouldn't be an investor if you don't know that stat. You should be fired from your job.
Yeah.
Because your job as an investor is to actually understand the economy.
Yeah.
And if you think everyone's just buying Pelotons.
Yeah.
And no one's shopping at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Because that same person, I have no idea who you're talking about.
They're an AI investor. That's what they say.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
If you're not in ChatGPT, you're probably a zero.
Yeah.
You're not making any money.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like shocking when you talk to like most VCs, not all, most. It's just echo chamber bullshit.
Yeah. Very few people like, if you're interested in venture, I highly suggest following the team at Equal Ventures, specifically Rick Zullo and Richard Kirby and Chelsea and Simran that work there. They are so deep in their thoughts about like all these things that they actually have very deep conviction, and they're comfortable if no one else does. This is what we believe in, and this is what we want to stand for. I feel like that was originally the heart of venture.
It was
Maybe 10 years ago.
I think the original like early 2000 VCs. I think the problem is so much capital flowed in post 2008.
Yeah.
That people just lost the plot.
Yeah. Because now it's just a race.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, can I raise more? Can I raise more? More
Yeah.
money, more money.
Oh, speaking of that, I'm not going to share the name of the person, but I will share the person name sitting next to them, who also listens to the podcast. Matt Mazzio, who is formerly of Co2 Ventures, which is like legendary fund. It was like a hedge fund turned venture fund. He ran their venture. And then he used to work with Chris Sacca at Lowercase Capital for years, almost like 10 years.
And Chris Sacca, for people who don't know, was early Twitter, Uber,
Everything.
made billions.
Yeah, billions.
Before everyone made billions.
Yeah.
He
And
was
very
like
and Matt was with for that ride, and then at Co2, which is like what they did the last 5
Chris
years.
Sacca is a legend in tech.
And so Matt been very successful. Saw him at dinner the other night, and we were talking about the podcast. And my other friend who hosted the dinner, who we were with last night, was talking about his house that he has in Yellowstone. And, you know, he paid a lot of money. I'm not going to say how much, but a fuckload of money for this house.
You can Google real estate price in Yellowstone.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that. I'm not going to say it. And someone asked, like, how you getting there? Because he lives in the Northeast. I won't say the city, Northeast. And he's like, well, before the markets plunged, I was PJing. And I think he was saying it was like $70,000 round trip.
Jesus.
Okay. Every time.
And he's going, what, 5 times a year?
Yeah, easily.
6 times a year.
He's always there. So
he's paying $420,000 on a private jet.
yeah. And so then he's like, well, I don't do that anymore. And he goes, now I fly JetBlue. $100. I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. But he's like, I booked 12 seats.
He books 12 seats?
12 seats. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, it's 4, then, you know, help. And I just want the space. So I have the first 2 rows. And he's like, I've booked it out basically for the next year, for like every potential weekend that we may go. And Matt looks at me. He goes, this is great for the podcast. This is incredible content. And he goes, this is how you know we haven't reached the bottom. This fucker is still booking 12 seats. So I asked him, like, how is it even possible that you could even book?
Yeah, you need fake names and fake birthdays.
He said JetBlue, you can buy the seat next to you. They allow that.
Like if you're a bigger guy.
So yeah, so there are 6 people, their family. So they just each get an extra seat. So he has 12.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And can I say it's not shocking?
Not shocking. Not shocking at all. I mean, he's obviously extremely well-to-do.
I'd love for him to come on the pod and give his background because it's blockbuster.
Unbelievable. I should have told him to come on today.
Yeah, he would have.
We'll have him on the podcast, but I'll have it on long enough where no one could
put pieces together that it's
him.
It's him.
And then the other interesting bit was he does all this, right? You know, he has this crazy house, got this JetBlue 12 seats. He then comes around and says, I have every discount code for corporate housing, hotels in the country for every group.
Yeah, he told me. He started just rattling them out.
I took a picture of it.
Yeah, he was rattling out for every rate. And there was someone in our group that was staying, I think the SLS hotel, and he said the rate was like $600-700, and he goes, "Oh, $250. Here's the code."
Fascinating.
12
Anyway,
seats, but still needs a discount on the hotels.
so shout out to Matt for making this an important pod topic, because that is a good point. We have not hit the bottom. This guy's booking 12 seats.
I mean, if people are paying $5,000 to go eat shitty food and wine at Ojai.
Yeah. Well, why not? Why not book 12 seats?
Yeah, I mean,
And he said because of his status, they're basically refundable. So he's just like, yeah, he's like, I just basically
Cancel the week of.
He told me this other shit that he does that he used to do this. Now he can't do it anymore because it's illegal. He had status on Virgin because he was flying all over the world. And so he would book a first class seat that's fully refundable. And then he would book a, like an economy class seat that's also fully refundable. Right when he gets on the plane, he cancels his first class seat and then
gets upgraded.
And they walk over to him and say, sir, you've been upgraded.
Oh, that's a great move.
Yes.
Because he's the first person.
And he knows that no one else is going to, he sees what's happening.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So they called him and basically told him like,
he must have a PJ Hustle too. This guy's not paying 70 grand.
Yeah. I'm sure it's got some discounted situation going on, but that's incredible.
That's really good.
All right, let's move on. So this is really interesting, and I applaud Amazon for doing this. Amazon is letting employees use their stock to finance home purchases and even second homes. So instead of telling them to sell their stock, they're facilitating lending. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I'm curious because you can do this with like a private wealth manager.
I mean,
but I guess not everyone has access to those services. Like if you don't make, because I know people that have bought homes just pledging their stock as collateral.
Publicly traded stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as it's liquid, you can do that.
So better.com is who they partnered with. And you can get a loan against your equity in it as an Amazon employee. And the closing cost when the loan is secured ranges between 2 and 5% of the loan.
Yeah, so I guess this is probably a product for not the wealthy, because the wealthy people can already do this.
Yeah.
So I guess if you own $200,000 of Amazon stock, no bank's loaning against that.
Yeah. I wonder what percentage of the total dollar amount they'll give you. And they charge you a quarter basis point higher to because of on the mortgage because of the risk.
Yeah, interesting.
Between a quarter basis and 2.5 percentage points above the market rate. So if it's 2.5%, that's insane. But it may be worth it if you don't have to sell your stock and pay capital gains and blah 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 blah.
And they want you to be a long-term holder.
Yeah, I think it's really clever. It's a really clever way to keep.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do this at any bank, but they're just simplifying it for their own employees.
Yeah,
so that you don't have to go through the headache.
Yeah, which is an incredible thing for a company to do. Is like make your employees' lives easier, whether it's healthcare, childcare, housing. Like give them those things, and they'll be more loyal to you.
And especially where it's no sweat off your back because you're not housing the loan.
Yeah,
you're just facilitating it for them. It's not like big tech where you have to have kombucha and fucking bike repair at your offices.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of the bottom has not hit, Lufthansa has unveiled their new first class suite with a double bed and a door that closes.
Love it.
Insane, right?
So Emirates has had this.
Yep. So it must be working for Emirates.
Yeah, I mean, unless I would argue that
this picture, it's nicer than Emirates.
Yeah, it looks nicer. Emirates has had this for over a decade.
Yeah.
So they have to upgrade.
Yeah.
But I think what they're basically trying to convince is like the people that would fly private where they get their bed made, like just come on Lufthansa and you save 70% of your costs or 80%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's if you're a private flyer, like
this is going after the private jet economy.
Yeah, I mean, if you can and like private reserve at LAX has basically solved for this, which is you go to your own entrance away from the airport. You then are in an incredibly nice lounge that then allows you to go directly onto the plane. And then when you exit, you get pulled off the plane, you take the steps down, and you never enter the terminal, right? So if you can afford private reserve, is that what it's called? Private reserve? And it's your alternative to flying private, and then you can go in one of these suites. It's not bad.
Yeah,
if you're like,
you do the math, I think it's round trip LA, New York, call it, right?
Yeah.
A private jet probably cost 80 grand round trip.
at least, probably more
least.
now.
Yeah, it's probably more. That's like old prices.
Yeah.
Call it 100 grand.
Yeah.
But if you can get out with private reserve, what is it, 1,000, 2,500 per person?
I think 25. I think more.
Couple grand. So let's just call it 2 grand for simple math purposes. You're 2 people, 4 grand plus your first class seat, 3 grand each. You're out 10 grand.
Yeah.
Versus $100,000.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Huge difference.
You know, it's funny, like the kids in the office we were talking about some A-list celebs that we won't mention names that we know have financial troubles. Like, they make so much money. How do they go broke?
Yeah.
And I was like, you fly private to London, it's $500,000.
Yeah.
You do that 4 times a month.
Yeah. Flying private is probably like the amount of wealth you have to fly private is insane.
Yeah. And I think,
I think even people, when they think, oh, this guy has $100 million, you really can't fly private all the time if you have $100 million.
no chance.
You'll
go broke instantly unless 100 becomes 500.
Yeah.
Flying private is like the easiest way to go broke.
Yeah. It's so expensive.
It's more expensive than watches, cars.
Yeah.
You can buy Lamborghinis all you want. You fly private, you're going broke.
Yeah. Wild. So for everyone else, hit that. I mean, the Lufthansa seat, what is that going to be? $25,000?
Yeah. So like they're basically, for a party of 2, even 4, they're basically like 80% off a private flight.
Yeah.
It's like LA, Germany is probably $500,000 round trip.
Yeah.
This is going to be 50 grand
Yeah.
for 2 people.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I wonder what hustle Mr. 12-seat JetBlue. Maybe
What's he got on that?
we should follow up with Matt Mazzio and maybe he'll be able to ask him what's going on.
All right, let's move on. Winners, losers, content. Anand, who do you have for winner of the week?
My winner is Nas.
All right.
He sold out Madison Square Garden for the first time as a headliner. He's performed there before at bigger, those Hot 97 shows or whatnot. But this is the first time ever he headlined, and tickets sold out within 15 minutes. It was last Friday. We couldn't go. We wanted to go, but from all the clips and stuff that's been shared on social media and from our friends, looked amazing. Like it's like so rare that it's really just him and Jay-Z that have done this for over 20 years and still are so cool.
Yeah. And I mean, Madison Square Garden, New York City, Nas, him on the stage basically by himself. He had a few guests. I think Mary J. Blige and I think AZ came on. I had mad FOMO. Like I never get FOMO, but I was like, fuck, this feels special. I wish I was there. Obviously, Anthony was texting us from there, and it just sounded like an incredible night. And just, it's unfortunate we didn't get to go.
And it was the first time I've seen Anthony so excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's been everywhere. He's literally done everything.
Yeah. I think, he understands how special what Nas is doing is. It's rare.
Yeah.
And like his career's getting bigger. And he's doing, 20 some odd years later, selling out Madison Square Garden still.
Yeah.
It's very hard to keep the relevance and the trajectory that he's been doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the work too. Like I listen to King's Disease 3 like every single day still. Every single day I listen to it.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Wild. Yeah. That's great. Great winner. My winner is the U.S. consumer. Costco just dropped their earnings. Double beat revenue and earnings. This high-end American consumer is unstoppable. When will the high-end American consumer, in this case, it's like the $200,000, $250,000 plus earner is, in my mind, that's what I'm talking about. That person cannot stop spending.
No. I mean, if you just look in our own group chats, we have obviously friends who've done well. Everyone's skiing every weekend.
Yeah, everyone's skiing.
It doesn't matter what city.
Yeah, Mexico or skiing.
Mexico, skiing, Hawaii.
I know so many people traveling this weekend. This is a long weekend?
No.
I know.
We just finished a long weekend, President's Day. 2 weeks
I
ago.
know so
Is
many
it spring
people.
break for kids?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Actually, some of these people don't even have kids. Everyone is traveling still.
Yeah, I think we just need to give up. The Fed needs to stop.
Just
There's
stop.
nothing they can do.
It's just out
Do
of
you
control.
think if we raise another 3 basis points, anyone's going to stop spending?
I mean, maybe. Certain
Why?
things.
Why would you stop spending? No, let's actually work through this, because maybe you won't buy a new home because the mortgage rate will be insane.
Yep.
But what does it affect your savings or the equity you have in your home?
Yeah. I don't know.
What do interest rates really do? They raise your credit card rates,
Ability to buy a home.
ability to buy a home, auto loans. But if you are like kind of settled with those 3 things,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah. Then it's just your cost of living has gone up, right? In the last, you're paying more for everything right now.
And no one cares.
Yeah. And I think someone made a comment about this on one of our
if-
videos.
All right. Like, no offense, but at 22, we weren't having $840 lunches.
Absolutely not. That was the lunch for the whole month.
Correct.
Yeah.
And these guys are doing it.
Yeah.
So why would the high-end consumer stop?
Yeah. So you're calling him a low end consumer.
I'm calling him he's not a high-end consumer. Maybe he is.
I mean,
The way
we don't
he
know how much
spends.
money. This guy might be a billionaire. This is all fake. This
Yeah.
communist act. Who knows?
My first big spend was a bottle at one of Brian's clubs. What was it called? Mood. Was that a club?
Well, yeah, he was a promoter at, yeah.
He was a promoter there. I got an investment banking bonus that was, I don't mind sharing it.
Yeah.
The bonus was $80,000,
Okay.
and I spent $500 that night. This guy's spending $840 with no bonus. We just raised. I know what his rate is.
So basically just no one's saving new money. Because people do have savings. Americans have record savings, right? Last year they did. They depleted a lot of that. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, what are you saving it for? Just spend what you got.
Yeah, maybe COVID broke everyone's.
So what am I saving all
mindset.
this money for?
Yeah, like we didn't live for 3 years. We may get locked down again. Fuck it.
Yeah, look, honestly, like that's my approach. Like, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you can't take your money with you,
Yeah,
and you can't take your debt with you either.
exactly. You definitely can't take that. That's why they call it debt. That's unbelievable. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
All right, who's your loser?
Loser is the sport of college basketball. I don't know if it's on your radar yet.
No.
So Brandon Miller,
Oh,
he's the star of University of Alabama basketball.
Yep.
He is the 3rd best prospect for the next NBA draft upcoming
Wow.
in June. So you have the French kid, the 7'5" guy,
yeah,
Victor.
yeah.
This guy Scoot, and then it's Brandon Miller.
My guy Scoot. Scoot was in the office here when he was 15.
Really?
I have pictures with him.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big Scoot guy.
Okay, so Scoot.
Yeah, I met his whole family.
Why was he? Who brought him in?
His agent.
He had an agent at 15.
Yeah.
That's why he's not in college.
They knew he got offered like $1 million to play in the G League.
Yeah. So Scoot's number 2. So
Damn.
French Victor's 1. Scoot's 2, and Brandon Miller's the 3rd best prospect.
Wow.
So the story is like really murky. What we know is he drove a car to his friend who picked up a gun from his trunk and killed someone.
Wow.
And he's been playing ever since. and there's a lot of like, no one knows what the actual details are. The cops have called him a witness, not a suspect.
Yeah.
So they've not charged him with anything. This guy scored 41 points after all this happened, with the stands chanting, "Lock him up."
I mean, not to be insensitive, but that's a guy you want on your team.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it means nothing phases him.
Nothing phases this guy. And so whatever, I mean, I'm not trying to gloss over like the seriousness of someone died.
Yeah.
We don't know what his involvement is publicly yet. All we know is
but
the
I mean, he
murky
could have
details.
done nothing.
He could have done nothing.
Yeah.
So Jay Billis, who's an attorney, he's the ESPN college basketball like lead and analyst, was defending him and said the cops say he's a witness. He has his own rights.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the media is like, he shouldn't be playing. And
I don't know why he shouldn't be playing unless he's getting charged. He should be playing.
yeah, he played last night on ESPN too. I watched some of it.
Now you're a fan.
I'm calling it a loser because college sports always have scandals.
Yeah.
Like this shit doesn't happen in the NBA
Yeah.
and the NFL. Well, I guess it does. That's
Yeah.
shit. Never
Everything
mind.
happens.
Everything happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's crazy,
Yeah.
especially like the level of talent this guy is.
Yeah. I
And I don't know where I think everyone loses here in the sense like, if he plays, you're like, wait, there's a murder investigation going on. We don't
Yeah.
even know if, is he fully clear? There's not a trial yet.
Yeah.
If you sit him, are you like, is he going to sue the university? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. That's tough.
It's a really crazy thing. And like, sadly, if Alabama goes on a run, they're a top 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
They go on a run, they're the favorites to be in the Final Four. Ratings are going to be bananas to watch this kid.
Yeah. Especially if he's balling.
41 points?
41 points in college basketball is ridiculous.
There's games where teams don't even score 41 points.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to tune in now.
Yeah, it's sad that this is what, the storyline.
Yeah. All right. My loser is AI.
Okay.
The obsession over AI is like exactly what happened with crypto and Web3 and NFTs in the last year. Exactly what happened with, like, think about like, what was I don't even remember the name. Top Shot, the NFT? What was it called?
Yeah,
Dapper
the NBA
Labs?
Top Shot.
NBA Top Shot. Remember the frenzy around that?
Mhm.
And then it became the frenzy around NFTs. Whenever something happens like this, it's really, really scary.
And it's obvious.
Yes.
Now that we've seen it like 3 times in 3 years.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. This is big Occam's razor.
AI is very Occam's
AI is
razor.
also Hitchens razor. No evidence, no argument.
Yeah, we don't even know what you're doing back there. I think what I don't like about it, because so if you live in LA, Upfront Ventures, it's a Los Angeles based venture fund. They're having their conference, so a lot of investors are in town, and the investors themselves are joking around. Oh, you should just put AI in your slide.
Yeah, of course.
It's literally
It's a joke.
It's a joke. It's a mockery, right? And so it's kind of sad because what happens is there's going to be a number of people who chase this and are too late to the bandwagon, and they're going to get burned on it, and they're going to waste like valuable career time being late to the party when, like, we know OpenAI has been like a decade into the works. Like,
Yeah, and Google with DeepMind 2014 acquisition.
and whatever else all these other companies are quietly working on. It's just kind of sad.
It is, because it's going to waste like 5 years of a 24-year-old's life.
Yeah.
Chasing AI.
Yeah. And they're just not going to be, if you're not, and we're learning the amount of money you need to do these businesses.
Oh, billions.
Billions. You can't get in this game unless you're stacked.
Yeah, and no one's really, how many AI engineers are there that actually know what they're doing? OpenAI probably has all of them.
Yeah.
Or Google.
Yeah. They probably all work at those 2-3 companies. All right. But it is exciting because some of the stuff you see is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
It's fine for consumers like us, but like, I feel bad for people who are just
For
chasing.
founders, I
Yeah.
feel bad because everyone thinks they need to do it.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
All right, content. My content is if you're a Chatty Cathy club member, hit the Discord. The hat is live. It is 100% free. We are charging for shipping though, because some of you people live far away. It costs a lot of money. But go into the Discord to get the link to claim your hat. They should ship out next week, I believe. We're waiting on the production to hit. But definitely go claim your hat. And it says, every single hat says member on it. So that's a very limited edition hat.
That's hot. I actually have content.
Okay.
Creed 3
Creed 3's out.
releases Friday,
Oh, yeah.
March 3rd. Michael B. Jordan, who we've gotten to know over the last decade.
Yeah.
Drama used to bring him around, and
Yeah.
very nice guy. First
And-
time directing.
First time directing.
$60 million budget.
Yep.
Big blockbuster movie.
What's the prediction for the weekend?
What do they predict?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm saying 22 million.
That's it?
I mean, that's big for an opening weekend.
No. I'll Google it right now. So the predictions are 36 to 40 million for the first weekend.
So this movie's going to make a lot of money.
I hope so.
Because if you do 36 million the first weekend, you'll make money then.
Yeah, and that's just from North America.
Yeah.
I think the Chinese like Michael B. Jordan.
It might be too much USA for them, though. Like Rocky series is very America.
Yeah.
It's about American pride.
And his co-star is apparently like next up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a movie to watch, and I think they're gonna make the co-star a superstar.
Okay. I love the Creed series. It's great. Congrats, Michael. All right. That's it. We will see you back here on Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend. If you live in LA, we have a nice sunny weekend finally. And
You
it's not
running?
What?
You running?
Oh yeah, Saturday Run Club. We'll be there. We had to cancel it last weekend. It was so damn cold. By the way, if you do live in LA and if you get a chance, I highly recommend finding a view of the Hollywood sign and the mountains behind it. It is unbelievable. Like our view from the office is like spectacular. I've never seen it like this. Like the amount of snow-capped mountains in the background
Mm-hmm.
is definitely like a very rare sighting for
It's
LA.
freaking cold.
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
So if you're running on Saturday morning, bundle up, right?
Bundle up. Yes. All right, everyone. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.